welcome to Studio A, coming to you from the Speech Arts Building at Fresno State. I'm your host, Cassidy Smith. Over the next few weeks, we'll be showcasing the work of some of Fresno's finest artistic and musical talent. You've just heard from flamenco guitarist Nathan Hinojosa, and we'll be talking to him later in the program. But right now, I'm sitting here with local painter Lawrence Garza. Welcome, Lawrence.
Thanks for having me.
Beautiful art we have up here.
Thanks.
Tell me a little bit about your artistic style.
Well, I have a sort of surrealistic style, and that's kind of why I have a little bit of the Dali mustache.
I was going to say, that's a great mustache you've got there.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the reasons I have it, because I like Dali, and he's a very big influence on me. So I kind of like to take that whole idea of creating a scene and making something your own. And with surrealistic style, I feel like I can create something out of nothing, and I like to put that whole three-dimensional vibe into the painting. So you can see a lot of my work has that kind of depth and that far-away feel of it, too.
Definitely. And so what is the medium that you use predominantly?
I predominantly use oil and this oil and acrylic, sometimes acrylic, mostly with oil nowadays. A lot of my earlier work was used with acrylic, but I kind of found my space and my medium with the oil just because it's a little bit easier to use for me anyway, because it dries a little bit slower, so I have time to look at my piece and analyze it as far as when I'm working on it. So.
Great. And so you said towards the beginning, when did you actually start creating art?
I actually started, I think, probably when I was in elementary school. And I just always like to doodle on my paper, as most artists like to do. I started just turning over my test papers and kind of drawing little scenes on the back of them. And when I got into high school, I actually took my first kind of real art type class, which was printmaking. So I got a chance to design some shirts and print with screen printing, and that's kind of really where I started falling in love with the type of art that I like to do, which is creating designs. So I did that when I was in high school, and then when I got into college, I took all of my general education, and I took one printmaking class, but I thought it was going to be like screen printing, but it was actually like printmaking with paper and plates. So I kind of fell into that, and I tried it for a little while, but I actually took separate art classes after, which were mostly painting one, drawing, three-dimensional design, and color theory, which really kind of gave me a lot of my background, which I use a lot now. So it kind of progressed along through the different stages of my life as far as elementary, high school, and college.
Great. And these, the theme that, I mean, obviously it's surreal, but is there a theme that you kind of gravitate towards, a message that you try to convey?
I usually use a lot of my intuition as far as when I'm painting. So when I start painting, I usually start, it's in layers, so I start with the background and then I kind of work from the background towards the foreground. And as far as when I'm painting, I usually use my designs from drawing and kind of use those as a template almost for when I start painting. So most of these paintings you see here were drawings first, and they kind of gravitated towards painting. Once you start learning how to use your different mediums, you can apply them in different areas.
Great. Great. So tell me a little bit about, we spoke about Dali as one of your major influences,
Definitely.
but are there any other artists, anybody contemporary?
I just really like Dali a lot, but I also work a lot with the classic painters like Rembrandt and Van Gogh and Picasso, and I like to change my style up. I very, very much like surrealism just because it has the freedom, but as you can see in some of my other paintings here, I'm trying to work with more lines and shapes almost, to kind of switch my style up, because I don't want to be kind of pigeonholed into that surrealistic Dali style, because I have that definite look, but it's just something that makes me feel a little bit different, you know.
Experimenting with different
Definitely,
things.
yeah.
So when was your first art show?
My first art show actually was in San Diego, California, and it was actually brought to my attention by one of my friends that I met there. And the funny story about that is I was actually on vacation before the show, so I actually was coming back from Las Vegas, my first time in Las Vegas, and I was driving back and I heard I got the show, so I had to rush back home, and I had barely made the show, and it was really, very interesting because I got a lot of attention, which I wasn't really expecting, which was kind of nice, but I didn't really feel like I was up for that attention really, because I just kind of was out of the whole artistic kind of pace, you know, so it was really, really interesting, really fun to do it in a place where, you know, people like that type of different art.
That's nice. That sounds pleasant. So what would you say your philosophy on art is?
My philosophy on art is I think anybody can do art. It just depends on how much time are you willing to spend on it, because everybody has ideas, and that's my whole thing, is that I want to bring other people's ideas out, and I like to talk to people about what they like, and especially when they see my art, they kind of give me a representation of what I'm doing as well, because sometimes I don't understand why I put things in, but when people talk about it, they can kind of give me a little bit of feeling about what I'm trying to do as well.
Comes together.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Lawrence. And Studio A will be back right after this.